Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing, folks? Hope that you guys are all doing amazing. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, because you all did that, obviously. As soon as I said, I hope you're doing good, you all said the same to me. How are we, though, gang? How are we? White Will Smith, dude, thank you so much for the 13 months. Good old buddy, thank you for 6 months. That's half a year. I'm doing really good, thank you, White Will Smith. I appreciate you asking. Onesie Burnett, I hope I've said that name correctly. Thank you so much for subbing with the Prime. And Jamie B coming in with the 24 months. Happy anniversary, sir. I forgot to get you a present. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Dan DeMan as well coming in with the Prime. Chat, we don't stream for a weekend and everyone's saved up their subs. You guys are absolute legends. I hope you've been enjoying the new series on YouTube that started yesterday. It's been really, really good. Well, I say it's been really, really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I feel like that's 9/10 of a save game, really. We are back today for more Fjornir. You guys know the deal. I hope. Right, let's get into some Football Manager. Let's get into some Football Manager. Did I sign Lucha? You can't sign in first transfer window because he won't join another club after he's just moved to Pisa. Sadly. Oh, you saved it up for a Fjornir stream. Thank you very much for giving me Beth Jezos's. It's not Jeff Bezos, everyone. It's Beth Jezos. Words are hard. Thank you for the sub. Send help, Jack Shaw. Mate, thank you for subbing with the tier 1. Welcome aboard. Oh, right. We're going to play some Football Manager today. Now, I will apologise. There wasn't a stream yesterday. Originally, there was going to be a stream yesterday. I assume if you watch today's YouTube video, or indeed if you have any kind of hearing now, you might be able to hear it. I was very shouty at the football on Sunday, so I kind of wrecked my own voice. You know, it was the equivalent of like team killing in COD or something. You know, I shouted too loud. I damaged my vocal cords. I'll be honest, it's still not that great now. So I'm going to see how we get on streaming today. If we get like an hour or two in and it's getting particularly uncomfortable, I am just going to call it because I need to be able to talk to make my money as a creator. So I'd rather not stretch it too far, but we'll see how we get on. Oh, Don, thank you so much for the 100 bits as well. The media's told me that Oscar Piastri has signed for Fjornir, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play. The Piastri stuff is so funny. For people outside the loop, essentially in Formula 1, drivers move between teams. And there's a driver called Oscar Piastri who's been part of the Alpine/Renault Young Driver Programme. He's come up kind of through their academy. Yesterday, it was announced as a surprise to Alpine that one of their drivers, Alonso, wasn't going to be driving for them next year. He'd gone and signed with someone else without telling them. Today, they put out an announcement saying, we've promoted our youth driver for next season, Oscar Piastri. And a few hours later, Piastri came out and said, I've not got an agreement with the team. I'm not driving for them next year. So, a little bit awkward. I mean, I look forward to that being implemented into F1 Manager. And as you can perhaps imagine, there's quite a lot of memes as a result of it. Chissy, thank you so much for sitting with the Prime. I hope you're feeling better. To be honest, I didn't feel that bad yesterday, besides the fact that I just couldn't talk. I mean, did you guys notice it in the video today, if you watched the new Atalanta episode? If you didn't, youtube.com/workthespace. There's a new series that started this week. There's only 2 episodes. You could binge watch them in an hour and be up to date. But yeah, my voice is not amazing at the moment, sadly. So who's he driving for? He's not announced, Isaac, who he's driving for, but rumours seem to suggest he might well end up going to McLaren. But yeah, we're gonna see how we get on. Raman Rodney, how are you doing? You sounded husky. I'll be honest, it's kind of still a little bit painful to chat. And the other thing that doesn't really help, a little bit behind the curtain of Work the Space HQ here, I'm away this weekend. It's my granny's birthday, so we're going for a big family get-together. As a result of that, I've got to record Friday's video, and obviously all the videos are just a little bit ahead of time. So there's kind of going to be some front loading needed. So it's extra talking needed during the week at a time where, well, I'm struggling to talk normally now. Also, why is Olaf unhappy? Oh, Olaf was crying, wasn't he? Because we signed centre mids even though he's our left back. He's struggling with being out the team recently. Concerns are fair. You're going to play more. I think actually he could end up being our starting left back, to be honest. As much as his crying is annoying me, he probably is better than the alternative in Fredrickson at left back. So we'll do the swap. Yeah, happy birthday to Granny the Space. I will also just say, chat, on the VODs channel front, I've not forgotten about the VODs, but Thursday's stream isn't working on YouTube. In terms of, I exported it from Twitch to YouTube directly. Yeah! And it's just not working. Like, as in, it exports fine, but then when I go to edit out the intro where the music would be, because obviously if you've ever watched the VODs channel, it starts with me talking right away, rather than you having to awkwardly click through. And YouTube keeps breaking at the point of putting that edit in. If it isn't processed by tomorrow morning, I'm going to download the whole stream and edit it out myself and get that working. The annoying thing is, Friday's stream's ready to go, but I can't really not upload a certain day's stream. So that's been a little bit annoying. Also, Twisted Muppet, thank you for the 5 gifting, my friend. I hope you're doing amazing. Oh, my voice is bad. I have got the kits, thank you, Whitey. I have got them. You've told me a few times. I've got them. I will have to remember to put them in, but they are on my PC, so don't fret. Resvera, I hope I've said your name correctly, mate. Thank you so much for the tier 1 for 11 months. That's a long time. Harry Maguire to Newcastle, question mark. I have not heard that rumour anywhere. Is that Talk Sport reporting on it? I don't think it's going to happen. Why would Harry Maguire go to Newcastle? I don't see a world where United want to get rid of Maguire. Like, even if you don't think he's very good, with Varane's injury issues, like, they're never going to sell him. If I download a video / your streaming VOD, am I helping your channel? In what sense, Ramon? If you're watching it on YouTube or Twitch, you are helping. If you just download it using like a clipping tool, so you have the local file, like through Twitch, that's not helping, I'm afraid. I feel like people just make up transfer rumours, don't they? But to be fair, I could have just been Russell there, so I just made it up. I feel like I just see so much crap. I've talked about this recently. I kind of detest how much of football news reporting now just revolves around transfer rumours. I just sound like an old man, don't I? Clark, thank you so much for the tier 1. Oh, it happened in this save. Oh, is that what you're saying? It happened in the save. Apologies, 2004 Black Arrow. It's just the fact you writ Maguire to Newcastle question mark. With no context, I just didn't know what you meant. Either way, imagine if he now goes. The save game told the future. Right, Europa Conference League, second qualifying round. Our team's fine. The team's fine. Everyone is registered. This is big. Oh, should we get a prediction going? So just as a little reminder, we've got to navigate the Conference League qualifiers to make it to the group stage. To do that, we have to get through 3 more qualifying rounds. Right now, we're in this stage here. We're in the League Step Path qualifying round 2. We're taking on CSKA Sofia, who are probably better than us. And there's still 2 more rounds after this, just to make it to any kind of group stage. There's a reasonable chance we don't get any money here from a cup run, or at least not money comparable to last year. CSKA Sofia's best player is Antov. He's rather good. He is rather good. I haven't seen the streams lately. What have I missed? I mean, define lately. As of late, we're in season number 4 at Fjolnir. We're doing very, very well in the league, and we're currently navigating Europe, and we might have bottled both cups, but we don't talk about them. Do you think Suarez will do well back in Uruguay? I'll be honest, I know nothing about the Uruguayan Premier League, nor its quality, so I'm not qualified to answer that question. I can make up an answer and say I think he'll do amazing. I think he'll get 30 goals this season. Am I enjoying the Alpine meltdown? Yes. Inject it. Right. Did the mods do a prediction? We didn't shout mods loud enough. If everyone puts mods in the chat in all caps, they will be summoned. I believe that. I believe that's how it works. Mods! I really shouldn't be shouting. I need to preserve my voice. Hey, Holly, thank you for the 9 months. Just right. This is a highly intellectual subscriber message. Lol, 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 lol. I think I said the right number. How are you doing, Holly? I'm a bit annoyed that your voice sounded fine today on your stream, because my voice is not good. Chat, I appreciate the hype train as well. That was mad of you guys. Level 4. I still don't know how it works, but apparently I've been given some free emotes. And who doesn't like free emotes? I just don't think you were cheering loud enough, Holly. I think that's the issue. What prediction are you doing? Will we beat CSKA Sofia across 2 legs? Holly sounded fine on the radio Sunday night. She was pissed. I've not actually heard your debut, Holly, on BBC Radio. I didn't get a chance to listen to it. I was too busy inhaling Dominoes. Actually, I think I was still on a train when you were on it. CSKA is pronounced Cheska. I'm going to just say CSKA. I'm very sorry. How many people, I'm curious, how many people watch the Women's Euros final, chat? And also, okay, maybe I'm a horrifically biased England fan who was watching live while slightly intoxicated. Did the ref get a bit trigger happy with the whistle? Like, there were lots of bitty fouls where I feel like there probably could have been a few more advantages played, and some where they were a bit soft both ways, to be fair. But maybe I'm out of touch. Your voice sounds sounds fine, work the space. It doesn't sound like you're straining it. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, Keeney, but I can tell you it feels like I'm straining it. What was the score? England won 2-1. Tifo said there were 42 fouls over the course of the match. That is mad. I think it was one of those ones where the ref just could have let a little bit more go. IMO. But again, biased England fan watching slightly intoxicated. I have a question. How long did it take for national youth intake to grow when doing a nation build? A long time, Jakob. Like decades for it to improve a lot. Yeah, I think like the refereeing was a bit weird in general, to be fair. Like, there was even incidents the other way. Right, the prediction is live, by the way. Will we beat CSKA Sofia? Now, this is not an easy set of games. This is difficult. This is not an easy draw for us. I kind of predicted it as a draw we didn't want before. Even if we make it through this game over 2 legs in the space of a week, there's still 2 more rounds to go through. Oh, I forgot to update Frosty's picture, chat. I'm so sorry. I'll be honest, had quite a lot going on at the weekend. I didn't update his picture, but he is improving, so that's good. It's not great. All in all, though, final was good. I'm curious, like, if for people who maybe don't often watch women's football, maybe you hadn't watched any of the rest of the tournament, what did you think of the final? I felt, well, it was weird for me, right? Because I gambled on England making the final. I bought the tickets for the final that I bought last year in October. I literally bought them when they went on sale straight away. Because I knew I wanted to be at the final, irrespective of England being there. Like, I mean, it's a major football tournament on home soil. Of course you want to be there. Or at least that was my mindset, I suppose. Have I sorted my staff? Staff are overrated. You don't have to sort out staff. They're a waste of time. MT Games 2017. Let's go up the legend of Mr. Space. And that's Mr. The Space. Just want to clarify this, everyone. The Space is my manager's last name. Work is the first name. So it'd be Mr. The Space. Just to make sure you get my name right for future. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not a diva. Right, shall we get into this game? I think we're just about at full strength, which is good to see. Of course, Almeida, record transfer. Didn't score in the last Euro Cup 2 game, but I'll tell you who did. Jose Antonio. He got 5 goals in the previous leg. I feel like we need more of the same from him today. Would I rather be a Ferrari strategist or managing Alpine's contracts? Probably a Ferrari strategist. I feel like I could do okay at that. Can we talk about how elite Toon's finish was? Oh my word. It was very, very good. Like, given the circumstances, like, I thought, like, when she took the touch, I thought that was, like, it kind of allowed the defenders to get back in, but the composure and the technique to get it over the keeper. I know much is made of the goalkeeping in women's football, but I don't think any goalkeeper's stopping that in that situation. Like, the finish was so good. Like, the pressure on your moment there. Like, if you've ever played football and played as an attacker, you'll know there's some of the, like, the worst ones where you almost have too long to think about it. And considering, like, she was still getting kind of up to pace with the game, it was such a good finish. With so many people, seeing so many people mad at the yellow for the shirt off. I mean, taking your shirt off is a yellow card. I can understand being mad about some yellows. When it's something that's just written black and white in the rule, I'm not sure there's much complaining to be done. It's 2 meter Peter playing for them, chat. Is he playing for them? I don't think he started. 2 meter Peter. Is he just... I literally don't think he's good enough to start for them. The fact that he's not even playing for them and we wanted to sign him kind of gives you an idea of the quality difference. Oh, right. I mean, this is a good half, but at home, kind of need to score when we're a goal to the good. Not good enough. Not good enough. This is the kind of game that we need a goal in. This is the kind of game that we need a goal in. If we end up having to go to the away leg and win it, we're in trouble. I'm going to take off Almeida and bring in Aranda early. Plan has not been good either. I'm bringing in Moomin. Moomin is coming on. Hey, North Star Ashel, this is the first game of the stream today, so you've missed nothing. It's going okay so far, but we do actually have to score whilst we're on top. And I'm looking at Philip Bungard thinking, Philip, it's your time to shine, mate. He's missed it. This is the first women's tournament. I've watched every England game. I watched the 2019 World Cup, but not consistently. It's made me excited for the future of women's football, especially when it's added to FM. Yeah, I kind of wonder how much SI wish they could be adding it to the game now. Like for next year, but I feel like it's still a year or two away, to be honest. There's a lot that has to be done. I like the fact that it's going to be done properly in Football Manager in terms of they're going to model kind of all the contracting and transfer system in a completely separate way because the way transfers tend to work in women's football is quite different. It seems like female player attributes are going to have their own scale from 1 to 20. So what is 20 pace for a woman isn't the same as 20 pace for a man. But it still works on that same scale, which I think is a good change. And I think it'll be interesting to see how the match engine works. One of the things Football Manager does really kind of focus on is trying to get the match engine to mimic real football. I remember working at SI, and we had an issue where in Argentina there were too many goals being scored because you're trying to get the number of goals scored in every country, what it's like in real life. And basically it came down to the fact that the majority of Argentine managers liked to play with a 5 at the back and 3 centre-backs just didn't work very well in the match engine that year. And so there was so much work done to try and get the numbers in Argentina more reflective of real life. And that attention to detail being applied to kind of the difference in how women's football is played is kind of something that really excites me. Versus, say, what's done in FIFA right now, where it's just kind of... it's the FIFA thing, like, don't get me wrong, I think representation's great and getting it in there's lovely, but it feels like it's kind of a minimum viable product that they're putting out. It's kind of what's the cheapest thing that we can do that, you know, represents representation, but ultimately, you know, can be used as a marketing tool rather than as a legitimate feature for the game. How many leagues will there be? I don't think they've announced, but I mean, really, I think it's weird. Given the amount of time they're working on it and the amount of researchers I know they've got on it, I would be surprised if there's not at least 10 leagues in at launch or 10 nations into managing. I expect women's football to have a completely separate match engine, chat. Okay, I mean, it's a one-goal win. I think we take that. I mean, it's a vintage victory, apparently. It wasn't a very exciting win, that, was it? If we're being honest. That was a very... I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, a win is a win, but it was kind of just a 1-0 where there was one highlight and we took it. Canman, thank you so much for subbing with the Prime. I appreciate you. What team will you play first when women's footy is added? Great question. I kind of like the idea of managing in Spain and trying to dethrone Barcelona. Barcelona's women's team is just a different class, really. There's very few teams in Spain that can compete with them. There's very few teams on earth that can compete with them. I feel like that would be a pretty fun initial challenge. And also, I feel like, much like I feel like when you manage in leagues that you're less familiar with in Football Manager, with men's teams, I don't know that much about Spanish women's football beyond the teams that have competed in Europe. So I feel like in terms of an educational experience, actually managing in Spain could be pretty fun. Hey, Camman, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying well, I assume you're enjoying the stream because you're here and you've subbed, but welcome to the stream. We do stream here each and every weekday, just as a little reminder. We have discussed Piastri. Apparently, the main issue with FIFA is outdated coding, which is built on and on, which makes it difficult to implement new ideas such as platforms, pro clubs. See, I read the same Twitter thread as you, MJ Yasav. And I'm going to be honest, as someone who's worked in video games, whilst I can understand that excuse to a degree, doesn't really hold up. Spurite, thank you so much for 31 months. 31 months, ladies and gentlemen. 31! You could really tell my voice is straight. I need to stop shouting. This needs to be a lower energy stream today, otherwise it's not going to last long. Mate, thank you so much. Oh, God. Zifed, you told me how to say your name a month ago because I said it Zifed then, and you were like, that's wrong. And I can't remember what the right way was to say it. I'm just going with Zifed, Your Honour. Final answer. Lock it in, Noel. Noel Edmonds now does Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's Zifed in my heart. You can't convince me otherwise. Oh, it was Vi. Yeah, it was Vi, like the German number for 2. Zifed. Sorry, not changing it. I'll try next month, but when I fail, I'm sorry. I have this same conversation with like the same 4 or 5 people who watch the stream every month. At this point, I feel like I need to write down the pronunciations on a whiteboard or something so I remember them. Rayton Jr. too, thank you so much for the 6 months. Just had to subscribe to Hivatuka's beautiful name. It is a work of art. This song is perhaps the most beautiful thing ever to come out of Middlesbrough. Snakes, thank you so much for 27 months as well. I can only do 27. I'm not as good as this modest Spurite, true to be fair. True to be fair. Yeah, one day you might be as good. Jack, I almost forgot to say, I sadly got 5th in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe competition. I feel like that's a pretty good effort. But you did win Mario Kart Double Dash Time Trials Challenge and the MK Home Circuit Challenge. Did you get to play the new DLC levels that are out this week early or something with the event? Man, I love Mario Kart. I've not even bought the like the new track pack yet. I know the second set of tracks in the pack are kind of coming out. For like if I was younger, I would have just bought them all immediately. But as an old kind of man who has to be sensible with my spending, he says having bought like an obscene amount of sneakers lately, but who's attempting to be sensible. I don't just buy every DLC for every game I own like I used to. Right, league game, fully rotated team. Not even going to bother with the selection. This will do. I'm trusting the assistant. Which could be an error. Oh God, the squad number. Have I ever mentioned how much I hate the squad numbers? Have you ever, I don't think I've ever mentioned it, but just in case I haven't. I'm fine. I'm calm. Everything's fine. What are these noises? I've given a centre mid number 2. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. At the risk of being banned, I have an issue with Mark Viduka from the early 2000s when he tried to remove Andy Hessenthaler's head with his elbow. I mean, Andy had it coming as far as I'm concerned. Do I like Eurovision? I don't dislike Eurovision. Like, I'll put on Eurovision and maybe get drunk and watch it with some friends. And I have gone to the odd Eurovision party. I mean, mostly, my mum loves Eurovision. Like, my mum's the kind of person who has to have a party and invite all her friends around. So growing up, I had it quite a lot, which probably put me off enjoying it more. But I'm not really in the queue to go and watch it live in the UK, although if the opportunity presented itself, I probably would go. It'd probably be a fun time. But I don't necessarily feel, like, excited it's in the UK, say in the same way I would with, like, a football tournament being here. If the mods fight to the death, who will win? Me. How do I feel about the squad numbers in Iceland? Do you know the answer? A man with a shovel. Thank you so much for some of the tier 1. Why do you have a shovel? Do you bury people? Is it bad that when I hear the word shovel, my mind goes to, like, body disposal? Or is that normal? Like, if I see a man with a shovel at the side of a road, he ain't doing gardening, he's just murdered a man. So I just watched Almeida score on his debut in a VOD. Can I assume he's torn up the Icelandic Premo? He's been pretty good so far. Although he didn't play well midweek in the European game, and we are now just playing the B team here against Vikinger. What's wrong with squad numbers in Iceland? You're only allowed to number players between 1 and 25. So if you have a squad of more than 25 players, whenever you rotate the team, a player has to be assigned a squad number from someone who's not in the current match day squad. So, for example, say my starting 11, I have 1 to 11, and I've got a 27-man squad, and then I rotate the entire team, and all 11 of those players, 1 to 11, are no longer in the first team. Some of their numbers will be have to be given to players who come in. So you end up just playing musical chairs with squad numbers through the whole year, and it's really annoying. I bury whatever you want me to. Oh, okay, I might have to hire your services. Brekke. Fredrickson. Can we get a goal before half-time, please? Football Manager. Let me just put in the number. Hi, Miles. Yeah, I'd like 1 goal, please. You can't... They're out of stock for this half. Okay, fair enough. All right, well, if you change your mind, let me know. Thanks, Miles. Bye. Hey, Lambie, I appreciate the kind words about the new save game. Jack, in terms of a Jack v. the mods battle, the mods are more knowledgeable on the basis of the regularity of Jack saying mods, but there are only mods paying attention. I think Jack would win from the mods being counted out by the ref. True, yeah, they don't react very quickly, the mods here. There is a test done for mods, and if you are too good at the test, you can't be hired. Oh, tell you what, thank you, Miles. I put in the order of the goal and he's just delivered it. That was kind of him. Do I hear feedback of your own voice in your headphones? I don't know why that popped into my mind. So that's an interesting question, Poorly Drawn Arsenal. So I do. I can hear myself with my heads on. It also means I don't shout as loudly. And it's quite nice when I'm like listening to music or gaming. But obviously I'm using a wireless headset, right? And wireless headsets have latency. If you've ever been to if you go on Google and search speech jammer, you can go on these websites which basically create a delay of your voice. But I'm sure we've all been in a situation, right, where you're talking into a phone or something and you can hear yourself on a bit of a delay back, and it makes it near impossible to construct sentences. And I had an old wireless headset where the delay was too long. And so, because I'd hear myself like half a second after I said anything, it basically acted as a speech jammer. So I actually had to get this fancy pair of wireless headphones, which, I mean, are horrifically expensive for what they are, although they are amazing, don't get me wrong. More than I would ever normally pay for a pair of headphones. If it wasn't for the fact it's my job, I probably wouldn't pay for them, the amount I had to pay. But they basically are so quick at sending and receiving the signal that even though they're wireless, there's not enough latency for it to impact my speaking by hearing my own voice. Does that make sense? But yes, I can hear myself. So I can hear how bad I sound at the moment. Parker, dude, thank you so much for 34 months. Loads of people coming in with the long-ass subs today. How are you doing, Parker? You said evening, Jack. I'm going to answer with, I'm doing amazing, thank you. You did not ask how I am. You're just in the evening. But I'm doing amazing. Right. I mean, the B team's doing great. You know what? Sigurd Addson. Let's just go for even more rotation. Should we give Svein Andre Johannesson a game? I mean, this guy was the best player in last year's youth intake. I'll be honest. This is a concern. But he didn't look bad. He's improving, right? There's green arrows. We'll put him on. Why not? I mean, the feedback in your headphones, you don't really notice. Like, if you've got a lack of a delay, you don't notice the fact you can hear yourself talking in your headphones. Like, it's not that weird at all. Well, we've all been in that situation where you have headphones in, or you've got, like, earbuds in, or maybe you've just got, like, an ear infection or blocked ears, and you're just shouting without knowing you're shouting. It's just quite nice when you've got headphones on to actually be able to hear yourself. When does the youth intake come in for this year? It's usually August time, so it could be soonish because we are getting towards August. So I know it's early, but any ideas for your FM23 beta save? Ideas, yes. Anything I'm going to announce publicly? No. Just came in. Did you win against CSKA Sofia? We won the first leg 1-0. Hey, Svein Andre Johannesson just got an assist. He's come through the youth intake. And now he's got an assist. What a lovely man. Does hearing your own voice not put you off? When you speak normally, does hearing your own voice put you off? Imagine if you couldn't stand the sound of your own voice, chat. Like, from the perspective of it, put you off. Basically, chat, the way I hear my voice, it's like I'm talking without headphones on. That is the only difference. It doesn't sound that different. Obviously, it sounds slightly processed, but it's not that different to, like, anything else. Kotal, thank you so much for the 19 months. You know when Vikings discovered ice and they were trying to go further west and got lost and were running out of food? They got close to the coast. One Viking turned to another and said, "No, Iceland." And that's where the name came from. I'm in physical pain. I feel like that was a punchline, but it just didn't feel like a punchline. Are there going to be teams for women's? Are there going to be women's teams in FM23? I don't think women's football will be in FM23, but they have been actively working on it for more than a year now. I think realistically, it's going to be a year or two away. That's a really good win, by the way, for our B team there, chat. 18 unbeaten. Shout out to the B team. Right now, we have to prepare for Sofia. Is Tarek going to be on international duty for the game? Tarek is on international duty for these qualifiers. That's really, really bad. Frosty is going to have to play right back. And I like Frosty. Frosty's good. Not a right back. Yeah, this is a Kendrick Lamar cover. Having edited podcasts, it's painful to hear myself. Brian, you have a lovely voice. I feel like everyone hates their voice to begin with when you hear it recorded. And then eventually you just grow to tolerate it. And you kind of accept, hang on a minute, this is just how everyone else hears me all the time. Let's loan out Gunnarsson. That's probably a good loan. Do you think your voice sounds different in your headphones than when you're talking without them? I mean, it maybe sounds slightly more processed, just because the microphone obviously processes my voice in a certain way to make it sound nicer for you guys. Like, I don't want to ruin the illusion. I don't sound as raspy and as beautiful as I do when I talk into a microphone. Like, there is obviously... you're digitizing a sound. It's going to sound different if you just hear it in your ears. In the same way that if you go and watch a band live, it's different to hearing a band with a recorded album or whatever. But it's not, like, weirdly different. Hey, Zintax, how's it going? I think Frosty's going to be okay for us at right back. Also, it's Deadline Day, the day that we take on Sofia. We've not got any transfer stuff to do. Breke wants to leave the club to get more regular first-team football planner. Planner, solve this. Planner, you were meant to solve this. Breke, what's wrong, mate? What's it going to take to keep you here? There's nothing you can offer to tempt me to stay. How long's left on his contract? He's got 3 years left on his current deal. I literally don't have to sell him. Do I set an asking price that I know no one will hit? Or do I just say I've got no intention of selling you? What kind of price do they want? 100. No one's bidding that much. 160k. 100. No one is bidding 150k for him, are they? No shot. I mean, if they do, I'd probably take it. As nice as it would be for him to be homegrown, he's now our kind of 4th best striker at a push. But you compare it to some of the players waiting in the wings of the youth team, like, if that bid came in, I'd probably take it. Issu, thank you so much for resubbing. Normally I watch and work extra space. I really love that you upload the streams there for people to catch up on. Reminds me of when I first came through on live. I appreciate that massively. On that, and I said it earlier in the stream, I'll say it again now. Apologies for the fact that the 2 streams that happened last week aren't on the second channel yet. For some reason, Thursday's stream, whenever I try and edit it using YouTube's editing tools, it doesn't correctly edit out the music bit at the start. I think I've got it working now, but it's now been stuck processing for 24 hours, which makes me think it's bugged out and I'd probably have to re-upload it. But it does exist on the internet. It will be going up there soon. I realise if you're watching this thing on the second channel, it doesn't matter. You probably not noticed there was a gap, or, you know, that was yesterday's news. Either way, the VODs are coming up soon, and I'm sorry. Oh, right, let's keep going. Rudy Almeida wants to discuss the number of games you're, but mate, you're playing a lot of games. You're playing a lot. What are you complaining about, son? What are you complaining about? I'm meant to be a star player. Be better if you were prepared to accept being used as a squad player. Show patience. Okay, right. We're going to have to give him game time. I've not even dropped him for that many games. Have I? I feel like we've been managing his minutes because of the stupid contract thing. I mean, if I have to play him in every game to keep him happy, I guess we're doing it. Hey, Tiz, how's it going? Thank you for the 15 months. So hot right now. So hot. True. True. Thank you, dude. Brighton and Hove Albion opinion. All right, football club. Hey, Ellen Dig, how's it going? You went to the cabin for 2 weeks. Whereabouts? Do you mind me asking, Ellen Dig, whereabouts you're based? Right here in the cabin, I think Scandinavia. But I mean, there's many places where people go to cabins. Oh, man, Fang is leaving us to go to the second tier of Sweden. Do we just try and sell him now? They declined. Can we offer it less? They declined. How about a little bit less? A little bit less? I mean, he's leaving. It's the end of his contract. Little bit less? Am I going to be here doing that? Little bit less? How many times can I do this? Little bit less? Little bit less? Little bit less? Nothing? Okay, well, what a monumental waste of time. What just happened? I mean, we're not paying his wages for 6 months. Peanuts is out for 4 to 7 weeks. That's not very pog. That is not pog. Das ist nicht pog, as I believe the Germans would say. Diego Canada is wanted on loan by Valor. Absolutely not. Anyone but Valor. Vestry have offered to sign this bloke for free. You can have him for free. No idea who he is. What's my thoughts on the Alpine/Piastri situation? It's just an absolute show, really, isn't it? I mean, it feels like in F1 there is a bigger and bigger disconnect between drivers and the teams they represent. And it strikes me as a situation now where drivers feel a lot less willing to be open with the teams that they're with. Like, I feel like you kind of see that with, like, Alonso announcing his move to Alpine and, to Aston, and Alpine only finding out about it when the press release happened. But the fact you can put out an announcement saying someone's going to drive for you when you've not got an agreement in place, or at least you've not even run it by that driver, is genuinely perplexing. What happened to the striker regista? He's still playing as a striker regista. Look at him. People laughed at me when I put this man at regista. He's on an 8.04 rating. I'm a tactical genius. I looked at him and went, regista. And the people laughed. They mocked me. They're not laughing anymore. Why have I just quoted Nigel Farage? Anyway, Peanuts isn't available for this game. We have to rotate things here. I don't like the team that I have to play, sadly, but it's going to be Goodmunson playing centre-back and then Frosty playing right-back. Away against Sophia. This is scary. We won the first leg 1-0. There's 2 more rounds to go through if we can win this. I'm nervous. Hey, well, space, wondering how big your database is. I have force-loaded every player who plays in a major European competition. Hey, Kato, thank you so much for gifting a sub to H. I hope I said your name correctly. H. Probably haven't there. But, mate, that's very generous of you. Thank you so much. Right. I'm nervous. Wait, did I? I've made an error, chat. And someone pointed it out, but too late. My saved best 11 doesn't have Almeida in it. So the club record transfer, who's perfectly fit, isn't playing in this game. I mean, I'm going to be honest. That is a monumental up. That's bad. Even by my standards, that is a show. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Well, when we don't win without him, it's going to be a problem. To be fair, hasn't scored in this competition yet. He's useless. 2 Meter Peter is not playing for them. He's not good enough. He doesn't even get into their senior team. All right, Bungard. Meester Regista. Onstad hits it. What's happening? Is it in? What's happened? I don't even know what happened. Chat, remind me after this game to make a new best 11. He'll score from the couch, no worries. He's sat there watching the game at home, poor Almeida. Rest of the squad's getting on the plane to go to Sofia. It's like, no, mate, your name's not on the list. Sorry, can't let you on. The worst thing is, this is such a difficult game. We probably really need our best striker. I can't believe it. I've made a genuine, honest mistake. You've ruined my holiday. I got a new pair of glasses, chat, and now the sunglasses don't fit over the top of my glasses like they used to. It's just a great big shame. I mean, it's debatably the biggest game in our history, but that's what I didn't want to play our record transfer. Like that it would send a bad message. I need a yogurt. I might go get a yogurt early. It's not even like Almeida could have made a difference with any of these goals. I mean, the man on the post has not done his job there, has he? If we're being honest, he's not done his job. They've had 2 shots on target. They have both gone in. Look at the XG. Well, this song has an applicable name for us right now, chat. This song is called Lemon to a Knife Fight. And I feel like, you know, in leaving Almeida at home, I've kind of left my knife at home and bought a lemon in Aranda to a cup knockout game. Aranda, I take it back. You're not a lemon. He's not a lemon. That's why I dropped Almeida. He's useless. He's not a lemon. He's my secret. Maybe he is a lemon, but maybe lemons can win in knife fights. Oh. Oh. I love it. I bought a lemon to a knife fight and he got me a goal. I was given a lemon. I made lemonade. It's 2-2. Our possession is kind of hilarious. I mean, great half. They've had one shot on target that didn't go in. I'm happy. That's you know what? That is perfectly fine as a half goes. Jose Antonio's not played well here. So get shouty. Just demand more. Look at the green happy smile he's got. He's crying. He's bloody hell. What? He's crying. Pause the game. He's crying. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. There's no away goals here, is there? They got rid of away goals. I'm nervous. What have I got myself into? I am in it. Oh, what a tackle, Bungard. Aranda. Arnstad! Hits it just wide. I'm calm. Is everyone else calm? Aranda. Arnstad. Planner. I don't know what I thought. I was waiting for a bicycle kick. Didn't happen. Although, there's still a chance. Hawkeland! I'm very stressed. Bungard's complacent. Less of that, sunshine. Jose Antonio off. Brecke on. Planner off. Moomin on. Gianni on for Hawkeland. I'm doing all the subs. No. Casado's really good. He's really good. What a save, Matthias! Come on! Moomin's on. Brecke's on. Gianni's on. Go on, Brecke. Just to remind you, this is their striker. I will now compare him to my best player by quite some margin. He makes our best striker look like a child. I mean, he is 19. I guess he is a child. But you know what I mean. He's very good. $20 minutes. 20 minutes is 2-2. We're doing fine. Everything's fine. I'm calm. Right, Gudmundsson. Gianni. Just get it out of danger. What are we doing? Stop f***ing around with it at the back. Peder Brecke. Oh, there's two at the back post. Brecke. We signed him from the 3rd division of Norway. He puts it into the middle. Aranda. Do something, you lemon. Penref. Ref. Referee, has he left his whistle home? I'm not happy. Right, Aranda, do it. I might have to nickname Aranda the lemon. Brecke, please! What's just happened? What's just happened? Hanschel, thank you for the sub. We're going back. I'm sorry, we have to watch. How's he missed that? I've left Aranda Almeida at home. I've fallen out my chair. How did he miss this? He's done all the hard bit. He's done the hardest bit. I don't even know what to... We're back live. There's another highlight, apparently. Please be a fake highlight. It's 2-2. Oh, good, Ryan. Take it easy, mate. Brecke, you've got to redeem yourself. There's options in the middle. Oh, Stud! Did he just flick it in? It's 3-2! In the 87th minute, Fjolnir have done the impossible. Did he flick that in through his legs? Or did I see it look different? It looked like a bit of a back heel, but there was a player who moved in front. Oh, he's done a... What was that? He's only gonna, like, Cruyff turned it, but put it into the back of the net with a Cruyff. Oh, they're about to score immediately, aren't they? It's offside. Right. Pause the game. Let's just. You know what? That was the warning. We're just gonna calm. We're all gonna calm down a little bit now, everyone. We've had our fun here. Now we defend. Bungard. In fact, you two can swap. That makes more sense. Bungard's still complacent. I don't have any more subs. Intax, thank you so much for the 200 bits. Right, we do need to remain calm here, everyone. Time wasted always. Play out from defence. Don't give them the ball unnecessarily. I mean, we already play with like a low line of engagement and sit deep. It's how we play. It's our brand of football. We sponge at pressure. It's why we've created so much despite having only 33% of the ball. We are happy to let teams play out from the back. Okay. How long, ref? 3 minutes. Hold on, lads. Hold on. Hold the line. Come on. Let's go. Moomin did absolutely nothing. Arnstad, best performer. He bloody flicked it in. We deserved that massively. We made the doubters eat their words. Round of applause, please. 2-0 down on the night. Came back to draw 2-2. Last minute goal to put us through. That is two more rounds to get through for the group stage. The dream lives on. Who do we have next? Oh God, it's a team from Turkey, I think. Antalyaspor. Do they have a nickname that I can call them? Nickname? Any nickname? They've got a rocket on their badge. It could be a lighthouse. Or is it a pencil? Or is it like a fancy pen? I can't tell. I've decided it's a rocket. It's probably the lighthouse, but we're playing the red rocket team next. Are they good? Everyone's saying you're screwed. Are they good? Redo your best 11. Thank you. Yes, I will do that like any second. Are these guys good? He's not bad, is he? Their fans call themselves the Scorpions. Oh, God. They're high. He's on 44 grand. Oh, Baraktar I had last year in FM. Was it last year I had him? He's very good. Andrea Polly plays for them. Oh, I mean, their highest earner's on £44,000 a week. Our entire team is on £24,000 a week. That's not ideal, is it? Was it in the Racing? Oh, it was the Racing save we had Baraktar. He was good for us in that save game too. Right, let's update the best 11. Firstly, probably should have done that before the game, but we'll do it now. Am I allowed to call Oranda the lemon? Also, I accidentally paused the music at some point. Things were getting intense. All right, new best 11. Nuri Sahin is their manager. That's mad. I didn't realise he was in management. Compare Bungard to Fernando. Should we have a look? Right, Fernando versus Bungard. Their deep line playmaker versus our little quarterback. We're fucked, aren't we? Can we all agree that we're just fucked? There's no chance we win this. He's literally on more than our entire team combined, almost twice over. When do we play them? Oh, goody, in a week. In a week. Look, yay, me. I'm fine. At least Tarek's returned from international duty sooner than predicted. All right, third qualifying round. Nothing's changed. Being called a lemon is now the highest possible honour. True, to be fair. Very stressful, that last game. Considering the first leg was just a boring 1-0. There's a lot of drama there. They won't be able to handle it in Iceland, true. Can we get like a snow machine on the pitch to really, you know, ramp up the pressure? Mold have made a bid for Arnstad. Absolutely not. What's your current contract situation? You got a contract for another 2 years. Yeah, they can offer the big bucks. I ain't selling him. Who is this bloke? He manages Mold. They're 5th. They're rubbish. We're the best team in Iceland. Now, part of me wants to rotate the team here. But part of me also feels like I might want to just keep playing the best 11 for a few more games. You know what? Moomin can have a start. Gianni can have a start. We'll give Fredrickson the start. Buassen can come in. I'll bring in Full House as well. You know what? I am actually going to rotate the team a wee bit more here. Just because it's probably a smart thing to do. Considering that we're probably already through. Well, I'd say we're already through. I think I might be premature, but with 9 games left of the season, I think we're probably going to win the league. I am going to kind of slightly throw in the league in terms of just rotation. Oh, the bloody squad. I'm just clear them all and do them every time. Snakes has redeemed a checkout Colin Kazim Richards. Now, there's a name I've not heard in years. Where is he? He's literally not in the game. Is Kazim Richards not retired in real life? Have you written his name incorrectly here, Snakes? Snakes, you're going to have to give yourself a refund. I'm afraid to say. We are 4 years in the future, Snakes. There's a pretty good chance he's retired in our save game. Black Devil, thank you so much for subbing for 10 months. I appreciate you. Sorry, I've been away. Did I end up signing the 6'7" striker? No. No, we went with Almeida instead, who's not quite as big or as meaty. But just let it be known, we beat 2 meter Peter's team just in that last game. You could still, the offer's still on the table for you, Peter, for a more reasonable sum of money. Atlason scores for them. It's not ideal. I need to go blow my nose. Do I have tissues anywhere? Does anyone else hate it when you've been sick for a while? Like you just burn through tissues? Like I'm fine now, but now that I just need like the old tissue in there, I just don't have any. I need to get a restock in for when I'm next ill. Right, chat, leaving you in charge for 10 seconds whilst I go and find. I'm going to have to use kitchen roll. I'm going to come back with a rash on my nose. Send help. Ah, right, we've got into emote only mode and I'm back already. Brilliant. We could unemote mode. Or maybe emote mode is nice. Hey, Lewell. I'm going to go with Lewell. What is your name? You look like you've rubbed your face on a keyboard. But hello, welcome to the stream. What a lovely way to welcome someone to the stream. Okay, we're back in it. I think we can probably turn... Do we want emote mode on or off? WTS Yog if you want emote mode off. WTS not Pog if you want it on. I don't know. The yogurt emote is grim, innit? That is a grim emote. Skuma, thank you so much for subbing with the Prime. I can't remember which way round I said the emotes. Now there's just walls of my face in the chat. What a lovely image. What did the yogurt mean? I mean, I'm just licking the pot of a yogurt. I can't remember which one was which, Snakes. And Jason's redeemed a hydrate. I've got it. I'm drinking. Oh, my voice is actually holding out okay so far. Considering the amount of shouting we've done already. I mean, this is just B team. If the B team can keep the unbeaten run going, happy days. If they don't, I won't be that upset. All right, Fredrickson. Where is Moomin? Is Moomin ever going to score for us? Considering he's on like £1,000 a week, he does need to score soon. I'm trying to talk it into existence. There you go. I have powers. I don't know if I've ever revealed this chat. I have powers. Moomin has actually done something. He won't shoot as he's on advanced playmaker. I mean, that's just not true. Planner was literally our kind of third or second top goal scorer for like the last 3 years as an advanced playmaker. Let's go. I'll tell you what, chat. Tomorrow's Atalanta episode has some crazy matches in it. For some reason, I decided after today's episode, which if you've seen, you know what happened in it. No spoilers in the chat. But after the game that we had, I decided it'd be a good idea to do a double header of Milan and Juventus. So that's fun tomorrow. I've been very relieved with the Atalanta stuff, to be honest, chat. Like, it's always fun when you start a new series, but there is always like a pressure on it to do well. And I don't know. I don't really get like nervous or anything, but I think whenever you put out the first episode of a new series, like there is a bit of I don't know if anxiety is the right word around it, but kind of like a nervous excitement about kind of putting something out there into the ether that's new. Did we win versus Sofia? We did win vs Sofia. Where's the Moomin Towel? I did say I'd get the Moomin Towel, didn't I? Do I have the Moomin Towel? I'll be honest, chat. It doesn't actually have like Moomin specifically on it, but look at look how cute that is. That's my tap. We're about to score. I should probably be on the game. Ain't that cute? I'm a man of culture. I am a man of culture. This is the equivalent of like the Moomin banner for when Moomin does well. We've scored again. Almeida's bloody good. I'm going to go put this back. I also chat. I also have these. Look at this. Look how cute these are. I mean, this slightly less cute. I realise this one on the left. You're right. Look how cute they are. Who doesn't like a lovely Moomin? I think it's a Moomin mug. You can answer on a postcard. Are they from Iceland? No, they're from Finland. I will be honest. What is he stealing? It looks like he's stealing like bowling pins. I don't know. Are we about to concede? No, it's fine. I'm going. Right, we're back. Is it bad that I've never actually watched an episode of Moomins? I just have random Moomin bits, and I've seen the memes. You know, the one where it's like one of the Moomins with a flip knife. Oh, he's stealing booze. Is that what it is? I don't know. Maybe he's stealing. Man of culture if he's stealing booze. Oh, Almeida. You complained about lack of first team football. Maybe he should have been in Bulgaria. Stealing booze sounds finish all right. It's really weird. Like, in Finland, people, they don't really talk much until they drink. Like, there's kind of an ongoing joke in Finland that there is no Finnish word for small talk. But as soon as Finns start drinking, like in a sauna or whatever, they will just talk and talk and talk. Right, 5-1 up. The B team's done all right here, haven't they? Almeida can probably have a little bit of a rest, I realise. Well played to the B team. Hey, Marky Mark. Enjoy your workout, mate, but it did come home. I'll be honest, I sat at Wembley as the full-time whistle went, and I thought to myself, what do we do now? I've never really planned for it actually to come home. That would have been a really nice goal, except the linesman is a hater of football and gave it offside. Saberwolf redeeming the hydrate. I'll tell you what, chat, I'm so glad we put the delay on the hydrate channel point redemption. Can anyone remember the time where we didn't have that and you guys like literally made me nearly kill myself drinking too much? I drank like 3 litres of water in 10 minutes and it was bad. Like, I felt physically unwell. Can the men do the same in Qatar? I bloody hope so. But I'm not expecting them to. Almeida's good, isn't he? He got a hat trick. Maybe he should be playing more. All right, best 11. Boom. Well, without Peanuts, which is a shame, but you know what? We go on without Peanuts, chat. As Celine Dion once said, our hearts will go on. As will this football club. Right, next game. Hey, Phil, I'm doing really, really good. Thank you, mate. I am hoping, chat, to set up adjust my setup for the World Cup so that when the World Cup's on, we can stream during the day when matches are on. So if people like ever want to just come in and chill out for like watch-alongs during the day, probably won't be like streaming for like 10 hours, but rather than streaming the evenings, I will probably end up doing more streams during the games, like maybe the first game, especially during the group stage, we'll just stream a watch-along for whilst kind of chilling out and playing FM. Oh, chat, there is a prediction live. Are we going to beat Antalyaspor? Have I said that correctly? Over 2 legs. Probably not. Oh, God. So if we win this, we're going to take on Mainz. Our reward if we can beat a pretty good Turkish team is we just get to play Mainz, who have Jonathan Burkhardt. This just isn't fair. How did we get to the Europa League group stage last year? And then this year, this is the gauntlet I'm given. I'm not happy. How does England feel about the not given pen for Germany after the corner? I'll be honest, I was in the ground. I think I know the thing you're on about because I think there was a brief pause in play for a VAR check. I did not see anything from watching the ground. I've not seen it back. Also, I'm not sure anyone here is permitted to speak on behalf of the entirety of England. Right, chat, prediction is live. There's not many believers. I thought you guys were better than that. How do I bet? If you have channel points, you should be able to do it. Like at the top of the chat, there should be a thing. I will say there are certain nations where you're unable to do the predictions, sadly. We did beat CSKA Sofia for Apollo. Oh, should we do a tweet? We should probably do a tweet, shouldn't we? We're away for the first leg. Chat, do you prefer to be at home or away for like the first or second leg? I feel like second leg at home is good if you're still in the game. Obviously, if you get absolutely mullered away from home, it can kind of make the second leg feel a bit dead. Okay, we'll see how we get on. First leg at home, people saying. Yeah, I don't know if I have a preference. I think generally I actually prefer being at home second leg. I think. I mean, maybe today will determine it for me. I am going to start Olaf, I think, over Fredriksson. Actually, no, I'm not. Fredriksson's played really well lately. Team's fit. Almeida has made it on the plane today, everyone, I'm pleased to report. We've remembered him. I think we're good. I think this is look, this is the best team that we have. Whether or not it's a team capable of winning this competition, I don't know. Hey, Juriki, yeah, well, it's going well so far. It could be about to go very badly. We are 2 rounds of Conference League qualifiers away from making the group stage, but this draw here is not ideal. One of their centre mids is on 60. Fernando here is on like £66,000 a week or something, or was it 46? 45. I think we're looking at mines a second ago. But yeah, he's on £44,500 a week. Our wage budget is 26,000. So they're kind of out of our league, but we upset the odds already against Sofia. This is definitely a step up, but we're going to give it a shot. Right. Oh, Tarek. Crosses it. No one's there. You got to gamble. Tarek, the Jamaican prince, puts in Onstad. It's a good early chance. Round of applause for the lads. Early pressure, early chance. Of course, our brand of football is sit back, absorb pressure, let teams play around just within our half, invite them forward, then try and attack into the space behind. Jose Antonio, attack the space. Oh my God, he's so quick. Can he finish it? Oh, that was a chance. That was a really good chance. I'm not happy. I mean, look at the stats. We're bloody massive. It's the 16 acceleration and 16 pace of Jose Antonio. He's bloody quick. That is one of the reasons we signed him. It's just because we wanted a really quick striker for how we play. Who do I think will drive for Alpine? Do you want my honest opinion? I think Piastri will probably end up having to drive for Alpine if he's not already burnt the bridge. Oh, Almeida. I think it's just over. I still feel like there's a world where Piastri ends up driving for Alpine. Right. Oh, Jose Antonio, is he quick enough? No. I mean, so far, we're doing really good so far. I don't want to get carried away. Almeida, good win. Fredriksson, nearly dropped you for this game. Show me why I'm playing you. Show me why I'm playing you. What a ball. Cleared away, but we still got it. Bungard. This is nice. Look how beautiful our football is. Arnstad. Options in the middle. Almeida. Same ball again. That's it. Come on. I shouldn't have shouted that loudly. Not with my voice in its current state. Come on. I need a drink. I'm just going to quietly die. Oh, my word. Blooming heck. It was such a big shock to me, I nearly died. Let's go. I mean, they've not had a shot yet. They're rubbish. Is it Christmas? Because this turkey is getting stuffed. Yeah, I thought about that for 10 seconds. That was good, wasn't it? I got a few more in the back of my head. Don't worry, I will stop doing them. They are kind of cringe. We're doing bloody well. Away from home, this is great. Please, lads. Oh. Another. Okay, that's half time. That's a good half. Round of applause for the lads. Good half time. Goal up, better team. It's important to stay focused, lads. I'm not overcomplicating it, not telling them anything more because they'll start to cry. It's how players work in Football Manager. Calm. 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 At what point do I make changes? You know what? Now's the time. Moomin on, Gianni on. Last year, we didn't have these kind of options on the bench. Players I can actually throw in to play positions. I mean, let's be honest, they're not that amazing, but as actual kind of players to be able to bring on, the likes of Gianni and Moomin are actually useful. Would I say FM22 is worth upgrading from FM21? Honestly, it depends on a whole lot of things, like how much you can pick up the game for, how much you think you'll end up playing it. But I think versus FM22, for me at least, it's definitely an improvement. We just hit the post. Attempt number 2? No, it's not a great, but we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. I'm very, very nervous. It's been a good performance so far, though. Defensively, very, very solid, which is a foundation of a good away win. Look at it. Bungard, Meester, Regista. Somehow managed to make Mr. and Regista rhyme. Don't ask me how. Jose Antonio, options in the middle. Why did he shoot? Why did he shoot? Tarek's doing amazing out on the right. Come on, Tarek. Burn him, you're faster. Jose Antonio. That's not the ball. There's 10 minutes. There's 10 minutes. Calm. 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 You idiot! Why didn't you shoot with power? Do I think FM will make the jump to PlayStation anytime soon? Probably not. Football Manager and Sony don't exactly have a good relationship, I don't think, after the PSP versions of the game. When the games come to other platforms like Xbox and Switch and stuff, it's been part of an agreement. Like the fact that the console version is called the Xbox Edition. I mean, never say never, but I think it would involve Sony kind of helping get it onto their platform. Bungard crosses it. Knack him. Moomin! Come on, Moomin! I never doubted him. I never doubted him. Up the bloody Moomins. Oh, my word. What happened with the PSP stuff? My understanding is Football Manager basically had to release for Vita, and then the Vita version just didn't work very well because of various factors. I don't know the ins and outs of it. But there was only like 1 or 2 versions released on Vita, and they reviewed very badly and had lots of bugs. Do I think Seb Vettel will be an F1 manager or not? He will be an F1 manager because it's licensed for the current season where he's still driving. Now, whether or not he'll retire after the first year, who knows? Right. Oh, could we get another? Maybe I should just be happy with 2-0. Gianni, what a ball. Jose, you are middle. It's too late now. Gianni, have a go. Bang it. Maybe don't bang it. That's a bad decision. Tyrick. Gianni, Jose Antonio, Tyrick. How's he missed? Moomin, please, someone score. How's he missed the header? It was such a lovely move. That was so nice, the football, to work it forward there. What a save. Matthias has made some big saves for us. Oh, everyone remain calm. Calm. Good half. I say good half. It's literally halfway through the game. First leg in the books. I mean, look at that. We were so much better. Tarek got man of the match. Things you love to see. Not bad for a free transfer. Could be one of the best dumb transfers I've ever done that actually works out. Oh, my word. That's not bad. How are Valour doing in Europe? Oh, they're in the Euro Cup 2 qualifiers too. How did they do in their first leg? Oh, God. Can you spot them, chat? We're there. Why? Iceland. I think they're actually... Are they in a separate bracket to us? Are they in the Champions path? They are. They won the first leg 2-1. Up the Valour. You know what? I could look at their schedule, but that's far too logical, isn't it? That is just far too logical. What a result. How are Fram doing? Fram, 5th in the league. Media prediction of 11th. Do we play them now? Oh my word. We play Fram now, but I'm probably going to play them with a B team. I think it's going to be a B team, the exception of Almeida, who keeps complaining about a lack of first-team football because he's an idiot. Oh, my word. Didn't we sign Tarek just because he was a free Jamaican? Pretty much. It was like a super low-risk transfer. He did actually look good at the time. Matthias, by the way, our goalkeeper, on a 10... How many people are on a 10 training rating? Oh, my word. I don't know if I've ever had this many players on a 10 at once. Has anyone ever seen 3 players on a 10.0 training rating? I feel like that doesn't... I feel like 10 training ratings are kind of rare anyway. So to have 3 all have it at once is mad. Frosty's developing really well. It's interesting to know how much players are improving for us this year versus previous seasons. Well, there is a massive difference with having full-time training when it comes to player development. Matthias looks like he could be really, really good for us. I kind of want to go back and look at our players to monitor list. Where was it? Players to track. A few of these have now been snapped up by better teams. Some of these guys are quite good. Like this guy plays for Telstar. He's mad. I don't need more strikers, though. We do have quite a lot of strikers. But, I mean, if he wants to be a breakthrough prospect on 450 quid, why not? Martins is good, but he wanted a lot of money. Let's see if he's lowered his demands. He hasn't. I hate him. Felipe's good. He's good, right? Nuno Felipe. Oh, 500 quid, mate. I'll give you 600 and I'll give you, look, I'm a good bloke. Give you 2.5k to sign. Do need it to be a 3-year deal. What a geezer. Yeah, I think Felipe would be a really good centre-back. I think like a lot of these players who are on this shortlist were not showing up as... Oh, actually, I have only got it set as realistic here. I was about to say, I feel like a lot of these players weren't actually showing up as realistic transfers like they are now. Like, this guy's really solid as a left-back option. Should I just offer them all trials? They probably won't accept them, but we can try. Okay. 2 of them will actually join us. The Dutch teams let me borrow their players to have a look. Iman Vugel. Is he good? I mean, 16 tackling, 18 determination. Only 2 mentals below a 10. Only 2 physicals below a 10. There is a lot to like. I'm going to try and get him on a long-term contract. I mean, for a freebie, he wants these annoying wage rises, though. Why are you like this? I mean, is that good? I feel like that's a good deal. Like, even if he's got a load of negatives, free transfer on £500. Like, worst case scenario, like, we sell him on or just let him go for nothing and we've lost a few £1,000s. There's also Alexander Ignatovic. I'd probably just call him IGN. He does game reviews in his free time. Apparently, he is the 6th best striker in our team. We do like to hoard strikers. I think I might just sign him, assuming that his demands are reasonable. Oh, they're very, very reasonable. I'm going to be a bit cheeky here. He's probably going to hate me for it, but it's worth a shot. Okay, he doesn't hate me for it. I think, you know what? I think we're in a position where we can take a couple of punts. Money's in a good spot. We're going to need to try and hoard more players to get homegrown at club. There's resale value potential. If one of them ends up being really, really good, they cover the cost of all of them. Like, if all these players were hoarding on like £500 a week, that means per year... I could do the maths in my head, but I'm going to do it correct, otherwise one of you will correct me. Calculator. So we're looking at 500 times 52. So £26,000 a year. Say each one of these players is on average a 3-year deal. If we get 10 players in and sell one of them on for £1 million, it covers all the costs for all the players' contracts. And I feel like I look at those players, at least one of them will be worth more than that longer term. Right, B team is playing for this game. It's not a good team. That's absolutely fine. We are all focusing on the Turkish game up next. The game wants to auto-number some players, numbers that they cannot be given, because it's stupid. Wait, what's happened here? Oh, okay, that was weird. I don't know what just happened. Cool Mama Flyboy, thank you so much for some with the tier 1. I now want to know the origin of your username. Jack, have you made any other change to your FPL team? I can't remember the last FPL team I put out, but I don't think I've touched it yet. I'm still waiting on press conferences late on. I've played a lot of FPL. I don't remember a fantasy season where there's so much uncertainty around so many teams and their starting 11s. Like, I'm very tempted to go triple premium with Haaland, Kane and Salah. But I'm conscious of the fact that Haaland might not get all that many minutes, so press conferences are going to be important for that. And also the fact that a lot of the value you get out of your premiums is with captaincy. It's kind of how they justify their cost, the fact that you will be captaining them. So if you're taking on 3 of them, it's inherently a gamble, because obviously you can only captain 1 a week. But it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Just how I feel inside. You know what? I feel like we're at the space inside, so works for me. I feel Son is a safe pick. See, I don't agree with that. Like, don't get me wrong, Son is a good FPL asset, and he only just points-wise performed behind Salah last year. But if you actually look at Son's underlying numbers, he was the player who outperformed his XG and XGA across the season. And whilst I do rate Son very, very highly, because his returns were so freakishly above what would be expected normally, I can't back him with confidence to repeat that again, especially when Kane is available on penalties for 0.5 mil less. I feel like Kane is just a better pick. That should not be his goal. That should be an own goal. Jesus is at 70% ownership. If you miss out on him and he performs, it could be bad. Effective ownership is something I'm conscious of, but with a triple premium setup, it's very easy to move down for Jesus if you need to. It's not like I need to desperately scramble to find 8 million from somewhere. Does he not do that every year? If you look at the underlying numbers, Son's numbers versus even his numbers in previous years. I've talked about that, that's true before. I think Son's one of the best finishers in the world. his numbers, even by his own standards, were very, very freakish for the year just gone. Fram are rubbish. We're playing a B team and they've conceded 3 goals in 4 minutes. We'd never do that. I was on, at one point, a triple Arsenal attack with Saka, Martinelli and Jesus. I'm going insane. That is a little much. Although it looks like Saka might get pens. Martin Odegaard did an interview with Viaplay today in Norwegian where he talked about kind of being Arsenal captain and stuff. And in it, he revealed that Saka is going to be on penalties this year, not Jesus. Which, to be fair, Gabriel Jesus' penalty record isn't that good this year. So that, for me, is still swaying me to potentially go with the triple premium. And if he does well, I can move for it. If he doesn't do well, then anyone you have instead of him is kind of a differential because he's so highly owned. Has Johannesson done well this game? I mean, to be fair, he's actually shown some pretty notable improvements considering he came through our academy. My only concern is this potential. Obviously, as we continue to improve our team, the measuring stick at which players are compared to varies because, of course, stuff like potential and current ability are relative to your team. So as you get in higher quality players, you actually are more easily able to identify who the very, very good youngsters are. And it does look like he might not be all that good. Do we still hate Fram? Of course we still hate Fram. We bloody hate Fram. Our B team's tearing them apart. Which I think is a testament to the transfers that we did actually in the last kind of 12 months here at Fjolnir. Like, the whole kind of transfer window was all about just adding depth. The fact we can have players like Moomin play this game, Aranda play this game. I mean, it gives you an idea of the progress we're making. Would picking a Martial and jumping on the preseason bandwagon be a smart pick for 7 million? I don't think it's dumb if you're looking short term. I'd be concerned that when Ronaldo gets up to speed, you're probably going to be losing minutes. And the issue with Martial is he's done this before in a preseason and not shown up. And if he does badly, is there a striker in that £7 million or less range that you would move for and be happy with, say, after 4 or 5 game weeks? And my worry would be that there isn't an obvious pick in that 7 million striker range to go to. Like, I know a lot of people are talking about Rashford at 6.5 million. If you're not heavy Arsenal already, I think Odegaard's a pretty good shout this year. I think Odegaard's going to play higher up the pitch for Arsenal. I think with him being captain, his minutes are going to be more secured. With the centre mid additions they've made, I think he's going to play a lot more as a 10, and he's also going to be on set pieces. They've obviously got Gabriel at the back, who's very, very good. He was the highest scoring centre-back last year in the Premier League. And of their 4 opening games of the season, 2 of them are against the teams that had the worst defensive records from set pieces last year in the Premier League. So I think Odegaard could be a pretty interesting differential. Obviously, you're gambling against Martinelli there, but I think Odegaard's minutes are more secure, whereas I wouldn't be surprised to see Martinelli get subbed off for kind of the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, kind of as games go on. I should be doing some changes here, really, but equally, we are kind of just rotating the team right now for European games. Like, none of these players have played that many games this year, so they can kind of just play extended minutes. But yeah, I feel like if you're not, I don't want to say Rashford's a bad pick, but he's probably a wait and see for me. I feel like that's the case with a few United assets. It also depends, obviously, if they manage to pull off the Anthony signing, like, his minutes might be even more limited. Obviously, that's kind of looking cold now, but I wouldn't put it past United to look for another wide player. I think that happens, maybe Sancho gets put out on the left, and then suddenly Rashford at 6.5 just looks like a bit of a trap. At least for me. I mean, obviously, here's the thing. The beautiful thing about fantasy football and football as a whole is you can look at all the data points and perfectly make what are considered easy to justify kind of correct decisions, but they're not always going to be the correct decision, right? It's basically like poker. You're weighing up the risk, you're weighing up the plays, and then making decisions with the information that you have. But just because you have certain information and you make decisions off it, doesn't mean it's always going to be the right decision, even if in the moment it was the right decision with the info you had. Shajutsko Krejineren, I feel like I always ruin your name, and I am so sorry. Thank you for subbing for the 8 months. Or maybe I do an okay job with the name. I don't know. There's like a 98% chance I butcher people's names. I feel like even if people have like the most simple name ever, I still manage to balls it up. Just like Gianni managed to balls up that tackle. You got Sinistera earmarked. Leeds is interesting, right? I'm looking at Aronson for Leeds. I think at 5.5 mil, if Neto doesn't do well to start the year, Aronson could be a player that I move for. I think he's going to be playing in the attacking mid position. My issue with Leeds is not really with Leeds itself. I just don't really rate Marsh based on his initial kind of period at Leeds. Now, whether or not with the signings that they've been able to make with a pre-season and a summer, they come back differently. Like, I think Rodrigo could be a really interesting option for Leeds, especially if he's on penalties. He took a couple in pre-season, but whether or not he's going to be on them with the season with Bamford back kind of is a bit of a question mark. Like Bamford, again, a bit of a... Leeds are a wait and see for me, I feel like. But Leeds definitely has some assets that I'm looking at thinking, I'm going to probably want you at some point during this year. Leicester are interesting, obviously, with the centre-back, with the goalkeeping position, because obviously Schmeichel looks like he's going to go, and it looks like it's going to be between... It's Ward, and then what's the name of the other goalkeeper? Is it Christiansen? I don't feel like it's Christiansen. Or is it... It's like a Scandinavian signing name. Iverson. Thank you. I knew it ended in sen. I don't really know a lot about Iverson, to be honest. I know Ward's been out a bit injured to start the season, but Iverson isn't even in FPL at the moment. If they both come in at 4 mil, there's an argument to say if Leicester aren't going to sign another goalkeeper, just go with 2 4 mil goalkeepers as the play. But because Iverson isn't in the game at the moment, I kind of suspect that FPL will just price him at 4.5 million as a goalkeeper to stop there being the obvious double up of 4 million Leicester goalkeepers as a play. But if he does come in at 4 million before the deadline, there is definitely a temptation there. My concern with Leicester is the fact they play Arsenal, Spurs and Chelsea all away, I think, in their opening 8 games. It's one of the reasons why I'm not really looking at players like Maddison either. Those opening games are pretty horrific for Leicester fixture-wise, but at 2 4 mil goalkeepers that play, it might be worth the risk for what it opens up elsewhere. It also depends on how early you're going to wildcard. Ward and Sanchez rotation works really well. It does, but I don't think Ward's going to nail down the position. He's missed a lot of... My understanding is he's been injured for a lot of pre-season. Like, I think he's only been back in training the last week or 2. Now, he could be rushed back, obviously. A player missing pre-season when it's a goalkeeper is a slightly less big deal. But equally, I could see a world where Iverson starts first game, or even if Schmeichel hasn't gone, he might still get the nod. But at the moment, Ward is my backup goalkeeper. Isn't there 3 wildcards this FPL? There is 2, and then there is a global wildcard over the course of the World Cup where prices will be locked. So it is like an extra wildcard because it's basically the month where the World Cup is. You can make unlimited transfers. But you do have to use a wildcard before that. I think it's game week 12 or 13, maybe slightly later than that the World Cup comes around. But yeah, there's definitely an incentive to be looking to wildcard, probably within... This is a season where if you wildcard game week 4, I probably wouldn't judge you that hard. You have Sarr and Henderson as your keepers. See, I don't hate that, but I feel like if you're going to rotate goalkeepers, I'd only ever do that with 2 4.5 mil players. Because I feel like if you're going to go with Sarr and Henderson, Henderson's 4.5, right? I don't think he's 5. I just feel like you're better off going with a 4 mil goalkeeper and a 5.5. Like, instead of trying to be clever, You'd be better off just having Ward and then having an Edison or an Allison. Obviously, if you've got City and Liverpool assets higher up, that's a little more difficult. But even Lloris at 5.5 is a pretty good goalkeeping option. IMO. I do really enjoy FPL. I feel like if I wasn't doing Football Manager stuff, I'd probably like invest way more into doing FPL content and chat about fantasy football, because I do find it interesting. I feel like I've got more and more into it in the last few years. Mendy at 5 mil is greater than others. I'm wary to go near Chelsea defence, to be honest. Just because their pre-season's not been that amazing. I mean, obviously, Mendy could still get saves and stuff, and their opening games are very, very good. I just feel like I'd probably be more confident going with like a Ramsdale, or freeing up a 0.5 and going for a Lloris or an Allison or an Edison. Wait, did we have our intake chat? Did I miss our intake? Someone said, was the intake good? We've not had it yet. Panic over. It is this month, though. I've been in autopilot since we started talking about FPL. Perisic as a defender is an interesting one. My concern with Perisic is I don't know how often he's going to get 60 minutes. Obviously, Champions League doesn't start until like game week 5 or 6. But he's missed a lot of pre-season. And when he played for Conte a couple of years ago, he got subbed off very often inside the first 60 minutes. Now, in FPL, to get clean sheet points, a defender has to play 60. I almost feel like, just based on pre-season and minutes played, if you're looking at Spurs, Doherty might be a better option, at least initially, until we know kind of about Perisic's game time. I think Doherty is also a rotation risk. I think just because he's had more of a pre-season, he's perhaps more likely to play, but he doesn't have the same upside as Perisic. Perisic is very good in the air. Set pieces are something that Perisic, I think, will surprise people with. So we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting, though, for sure. Right. We'll continue the FPL talk, but after we play this game. I do need to concentrate on this game. We won the first leg 2-0. We are 2 fixtures, 2 ties away from the Europa Conference League group stage. If we win this, we're going to be taking on Mainz in Germany for a spot in the group stage. We won the first leg 2-0. We played pretty well. It's a different task, though, at home. It's a different task at home. I'm an Inter fan. I can promise you that Perisic will play a lot under Conte. He will, Gianni. I'm aware of that, but I don't know if he'll get 60 minutes consistently enough. Especially at 5.5 million, I feel like there's enough good £5 million options for him to be a wait and see. Bungard, Arnstad, saved. We'll talk more about the FPL stuff in a second. I saw some people ask about 8 mil midfielders. Because I think the £8 million midfielder debate is interesting. If we get an early goal here, I don't want to say we can party, but I'll feel very, very good. Oh, that's beautiful. Finish that. Oh, he had a few like that in the first leg, Almeida. Also, it's a bit embarrassing that there's so many empty... I was going to say empty seats. It's literally a standing ground. Oh, my word. Marcus Nakim, take a bow. That's the start we want to see. Oh, my word. Biblical scenes. Mainz, we're coming for you. I'm ready to take on Mainz. Okay, Sosa forward. Good win by Bungard. Fredriksson. If we get another, we're going to party. This isn't Champions League qualifiers, it's Conference League qualifiers. I appreciate it's not quite as glamorous. Julian Alvarez is great for 6.5 million. I just don't think he plays enough. I could be wrong, but I think he's very likely to get 30 to 40 minutes for City. I don't think he'll start that often, at least initially. And whilst he might score well in that time, I would just be very, very wary about having someone with that much of a rotation risk. 4-0. This is done. This is done. Come on! Do I have any self-imposed transfer rules for this game? I don't have Genf, but in Iceland, one of the squad kind of league rules is you have to have at least 8 homegrown club players. So as a result of that, a third of our squad has to come through the academy, so there is a big incentive on signing lots of players before they turn 18. Oh, right, let's have another. Bungard, Jose Antonio, saved, Frosty. It was offside. It was offside. Wouldn't have counted. I bet everyone who chose to bet against us is regretting it now. We have played so well in this game. Kind of crazy that Sophia put up more of a task, or more of a test, I should say, not task, than Antalyaspor have done so far. Fredrickson goes wide. Options in the middle. Arnstad. Oh, my word. We've got another. It's 5. It's 5. You know, you see 4 things. There's a fun. It's there. Come on! Oh, that's good. Should we go back to the FPL chat? What do I think about Zinchenko at 5 mil? He's in my team at the moment at 5 mil. But I might switch to Gabriel for the reasons I mentioned around set pieces and Odegaard earlier. I feel like with Arsenal's opening fixtures against teams that have traditionally been not very good at defending set pieces, it probably isn't a terrible move to go for either Zinchenko or Gabriel. In fact, you could double up. I probably wouldn't double up because I think there's better Arsenal assets higher up the pitch. I think Zinchenko is more of a differential. I say that. I think Zinchenko's owned by more people at the moment. But, I mean, they're very close in ownership. I think one was at 12%, one was at 9% last time I checked. Odegaard at 7 over Diaz at 8 for the third Liverpool spot. But the thing is, it's not a million different, Jamie. It's 0.5 million different. Because if you're looking directly at Diaz versus Robertson, you could downgrade one of your defenders to a 4 mil option. You can only downgrade the midfielder option down to a 4.5. I don't really feel like there's a wrong choice between Robertson and Diaz. I think a lot of it comes down to team structure. What's happened this game? What's happened this game? It's not. I didn't realise it was 5-0. I've kind of just been sat watching it happen. I mean, Jose Antonio, he's more of a chicken fan. Doesn't like turkey. He's having fun. I'm having fun. I'll encourage the lads. Well, you know what? They've done quite well here, haven't they? It's the cold. It's the cold. They can't handle it. It's the ultimate home advantage. I say that. It's 14 degrees and it's breezy. It's not even that cold. They've created nothing this game. Can I just say to all the people that say this year, you can only win with a high line of engagement, you're wrong. You're wrong. Oh, it's going well. I'm having a great time. Mines must be... Imagine if your Mines watching this game at home. You know what? Let's take off the players on yellows and just be sensible. Fjornir's on fire. Mainz and Bundesliga are terrified. I had to try and get Bundesliga into help with syllables, but it's a few too many syllables in its own. Well, I mean, since everyone mentioned the fact we're doing well, it's not going as well now. Oh, Tucky, I'm so sorry I missed your sub. It's all going very crazy here, mate. Thank you for 19 months. Thank you for forgiving me. I don't even... What's happening? We want 6. Are we good? Are we good? We're beating the Lighthouse team. Or was it a rocket or was it a pencil? We never decided. Oh my God, it never went in. It went in again. I think they've given up. This is a weird game. Knack him. You think it was a mosque? If it was a mosque, I want to just point out, didn't mean any offense, but it did look like a lighthouse. And I stand by my lighthouse assessment. Oh my. It's 8-0 on aggregate. It's 8-0 on aggregate. We're bloody great. Oh, we'll have another. We want 10 on aggregate. I mean, just as a reminder, one of their players is on £45,000 a week. Our entire team is on £26,000 a week. Turns out, if you pay all the players equally, it usually goes better. Oh, don't ruin the clean sheet. They've got a bloke called Freddie. Oh, he's offside. Pipe down, Freddie. Pipe down, Fredster. Miles off. Doesn't know the offside rule. Unlucky, Freddie. To be fair, I love the name Freddie. That is a fantastic name just to have. We're so good. I'm having a grand old time. I feel like if you put any channel points against us in this game, you don't deserve to have any of them. Like, even the ones you didn't wager should be taken away from you. The lack of belief. A round of applause for our players, please. Fernando on a 6.4 at DM for them. He can't hang. Oh, Nakin wants another. Has this been uploaded to my YouTube channel? We upload the VODs to the second channel, Solid Diablo, which is Work Extra Space. Oh my word. Jose Antonio, he might not be performing in training. He's performing on the bloody football pitch, though. Shout out to the believers. Oh, how did Valor do? They won. They won 4-2. Happy days. Jose Antonio. How many goals has he got so far in the qualifiers? He's got 9 goals in the qualifiers. We get £85,000 for winning that. I'll be honest, it's not quite as much as I was hoping it would be. Do we get any prize money for the next round? So the next round against Mines is the last qualifying round. We get 85k for appearing in it. I think we actually have to make it to the group stage for there to be some okay money. Mines is not an easy draw. Oh, it's youth intake day, boys and girls. Let's say, did I save the game yet? We'll save it again. Oh. Oh. How much are Mines on a week? So Mines is... let's have a look. Mines' top earner is on 78,000. I mean, they have, in their first team, there are 14 players who are on more money than my entire team combined. When are we doing Fuel Years next Wonderkid? Do you know what? That could be something to do this time around. Right, chat, let me pull up the Twitch app on my phone. If you've never been here before for a youth intake, you're in for a treat. I open up the app on my phone for Twitch, and then I rely on your reviews, which obviously are always 100% honest and accurate, to let me know if the players are any good. And Snakes has decided it's going to be an emotes only. Right, chat, are you ready for some emote only reviews of the intake? I've clicked on it. Like, if it's Pog, right, Pog. If it's not Pog... Let me know. What face? Yeah. Is that Voldemort's face? One, sus, not pog, ones, not lots of not pogs in the chat. Some WTS yogs, there's Bible thumbs. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. Let's take a look. I'm scared to look up. I don't want to look up. It's just not very pog, is it? Oh, I knew it was all going too well. I guess we just start with the blokes at the top, right? Like, sometimes it's better to go from bottom to top and stuff. I feel like this time we just go from the top. Apparently, Nicholson is the one we should be excited about. Where is he? Oh, he's down here. Apparently, the bloke we should be most excited about is halfway down and is a right winger. Get a new head of youth. I think our current head of youth is quite good for where we're at. I'll say that. Okay. 15-6-6. Let's have a look. Staff search. Let's have a look. Before we even look at the players we've just got. Oh, okay. Maybe the standard of head of youth development that we can attract has gone up. Because it was never this high before. I mean, he's good, isn't he? Although, 9 determination. Not for me, Chief. James Collins. Is he good? Head of youth development? He's all right. Wessel's the one that we just looked at. Stanyan, have this guy. He's not very good. Ged? Is that said Jed or Ged? I'm going to go with Ged, even though it's probably Jed. McName. Definitely not saying that correctly. He's not very good, is he? And then Aidan Callan. I think if I was going to go with anyone, I'd probably go with Aidan. Fairly professional personality with good determination. His preferred formation is a 5-3-2, so whilst it's not ideal, it doesn't have any wingers. And any wing-backs we get, we could convert to full-backs. I think he's the better option, isn't he? Why are his demands so low? I literally don't have the money to pay him. Why are we only allowed to spend £278 on a head of youth? This is why... I remember now why we didn't upgrade the staff before. It's because I literally cannot. Right, look, if we make it to the group stage of the Euro Cup 2, you get that. If we win the Icelandic Premier League, you get that. If we win the Icelandic Cup, this is never going to work, is it? There is no shot that this works. Why is that all in angry red? Why is it all angry in red? Is it too much bonuses? Okay. I guess we just go with that and hope. We're still like £100 different. Lots of red. Don't like it. Hide. I literally have no more bonuses I can give him. What about if I make it a more accessible thing? Reach the second qualifying round. Why are you so angry? That is so dumb that made a difference of that much. I mean, here's the funny thing. We're probably going to be in the Champions League next year, so he's never going to get a bonus for us getting to the second round of the Euro Cup 2. Ha! Played. Get gamed on, son. Oh, yeah, we do have a youth intake to go through. Let's just go from top to bottom. Right, first player up, Jorunsen. He's not good, is he? If we're being honest, he's... Right, Sigurd. Or Sigurder. Aronson. He's not bad. Either-footed. I like that. Resolute is a good personality. Not amazing. He's not awful, but the issue here is, like, there's like 17-year-olds I've been picking up, right, from like Germany who are in green here, who will get homegrown at club, and they are just miles better than him. And there's like less than, I mean, what's the difference here? There's like just under 2 years difference. I mean, he's not bad. I feel like we need to be consistently getting to the well, not even the Champions League necessarily, but just progressing further in competitions to improve our facilities, to get our intakes to a place where like these kind of players will ever actually feature in our first team. I mean, they're not terrible, don't get me wrong. Like, the board think that this guy, or rather the staff think that this guy could be the best of the bunch. He's really not very good. I don't really want to bloat. I mean, this guy's good. He's decent. He is better than some of the other players we've looked at. I know he's not like a superstar in anything, but actually as a fullback, he's not bad. He's got an awful personality with low determination, but like, versus some of the other players we've looked at, he is actually way, way better. I'm not gonna sign a lot of these players if they're just not very good. Like, again, this guy's fine. Like, his actual ability is probably worth taking a risk on. But in previous years, we've signed a lot of players, and we really don't need to do that to the same degree anymore. Because if we just look at our team, we've been hoarding a lot of, well, I say hoarding. We've been picking up a lot of non-Icelandic players towards the top here, who, if we're being honest, like, they're just going to be way better than what we get in intakes. Am I going to be posting more Park to Prem? Park to Prem is over, I'm afraid to say. Park to Prem ended like a couple of weeks ago. I hate to break the news, but I'll do so gently. This guy's not a bad centre-back. Like, to be fair, there's some okay players here, and a few years ago they would have been way, way better. I think the players we've offered contracts to are probably the ones I'm going to likely to offer contracts to. What I'll do is I'll let those players be signed, and then if there's any players that my staff are like, hey, you should be signing these ones, we'll sign those ones. As for a new youth team, so you can give them more game time, they can develop more. We've already got a lot of youth teams, Pupper. Mould keep bidding on Arnstad. How much would you sell Arnstad for, chat? Or is he untouchable? 19 years old. Some question marks over the fact he might be playing at his potential. He's very, very close, I think, to getting homegrown at club. Yeah, he's less than a year away from it. So from that perspective, I think we just have to keep him. He's a good option for us to have. Like the moon. Thank you so much for the 22 months. Last minute entry. I love it. Why only have the under-19s B team? We have an under-19s team, but it's a shared team with another club. And if our players play for that other under-19s team, you can see them here, they don't get homegrown at our club because the game treats it as kind of a completely separate team. So unless a player generates at the club, I'm very unlikely to let them play for the actual kind of main team, if that makes sense. It's a bit dumb, the fact that it doesn't count as homegrown at club, but just have to deal with it. Has Matthias developed it well? He's doing okay, the keeper. Like, obviously, we picked him up for cheap. Did we get him for free? We did get him for free. His numbers aren't amazing, but I'll be honest, he was a very, very good goalkeeper. And at 19 years old, I'm hoping he's going to have a lot of potential left to fulfill. Also, we do have the ability to trigger a contract extension for 3 years. Let's do that. Don't forget, you're here forever. I mean, that's now a 5-year deal. Things we love to see. I remember you could ask for a reserve team on the board request. Oh, could we? I guess we could ask for it. Do we need a reserves team? I can't see a reserve team request. I can see an under-19s team, but we already have an under-19s team. You know what? Increase the junior coaching budget. Improve the youth recruitment. They are two cheaper ways to improve intakes. I don't really want to invest into the facilities yet. Volrenga are now making an offer for Bungard, which I don't like because I don't want to lose Bungard, who, to be fair, has an optional 3-year extension and still has 3 years left on his current deal. He's frustrated he didn't get to make a move. That's annoying. Fredrickson, can you solve this? That's one thing we lack, actually, like senior players who can solve these problems, right? Bungard, What would it make for you to commit your time to the club? I appreciate you want to keep me here, but there's nothing you can offer me that will tempt me to stay. You've got a 6-year contract. He can complain and cry. He's got a 6-year contract. Hey, see you later, Spur, right? Take it easy, mate. Chat, I don't think I'm going to do the Mines game today, just because it's already kind of late, and we'll do it tomorrow night, because there's a little bit of a gap, I think, until the game's played. And say that, it's like a week away, but I won't get both legs done tonight, and I'd rather do them in a single sitting, and, you know, you got to keep them keen, or something. I think you meant to, that's said with regards to women, but you got to keep them keen. I've got to keep you coming back for more. You got to be mysterious. Can't give them all the answers. Are mines scary? Should I be scared of mines? Hey, Porklake, thank you so much for the 22 months. Get the Viduka spam in the chat. So I saw some people asking fantasy football chat here, everyone. I saw some people ask about 8mm midfielders. I think the best 8mm midfielder, if you've not got Jesus in your team, is probably Saka. With regards to the 8mm midfielders, there's a couple of players who are slightly more and a couple who are slightly less. I don't feel like it's that obvious who the best option is going to be yet. I feel like we're going to know that more after a few game weeks. I think of the midfielders I'm looking at closely, I'm probably looking at the likes of Grealish and Foden. It's weird, right? Because of the way that City play, I thought this year they might be more keen to get balls into the box for Haaland in the air. And so when they were linked with Cucurella, I was thinking, well, that makes sense. It will mean that out on the left, Cucurella will play as the left back. They don't currently have a left-footed left back, especially with Zinchenko leaving. And then that gives permission for Grealish to play out on the left, which is probably his preferred permission, and then cut in. But because they've not been able to get in that left-footed wing-back, I think there is a much higher chance of Foden providing returns and ending up playing that wider area. I know he missed a lot of pre-season, but I think that probably means that Grealish might start first game, but I don't think either are nailed down, whereas I think as the teams settle, especially if they don't get in a left-back, I think there's a way, way higher chance that Foden nails down that left-sided spot. If Saka takes penalties, yes, otherwise it's Diaz. The thing is, it's Diaz if you're not going to double up on Liverpool defenders. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I feel like Foden is a player who I will want to own at some point. Like I see a lot of talk around fantasy football. What people sometimes, they'll look at stats over the course of the year, like points per game. I feel like with defenders, especially with the way that you tend to gravitate towards the premium defenders, it's way easier to pick really good players and then stick with them. But I feel like, especially with midfielders and attackers, it's less about their points over a season and kind of points per game. It's more about owning them at the right times and when they're hot. But with the exception of a few very, very kind of freakish players, I mean, it sounds obvious, but like so much of your midfielder and attackers revolves around owning them at the right time and knowing when to like cut them. Some of that is fixtures, some of that is form. But obviously, with it being so early on in the year, like that decision becomes way less obvious. And I feel like, for me at least personally, I'm looking way more at likelihood of getting minutes versus anything else. And I feel like with the exception of Diaz and Saka, all of the £8 million options kind of either have rotation risk or just don't have fixtures that I feel comfortable having them on to start the year. Is Newcastle chances good for any of their squad in the FPL? So going back to that thing I just said about owning players at the right time, I don't love Newcastle's opening games. I feel like if I was going to go for a Newcastle option, it'd probably be Trippier for the set piece threat. But I don't feel like I have to be on him right now because I think there's other options in the £5 million range who are probably safer bets. Mahrez, no. The rotation risk. So players like Mahrez always putting in crazy stats per 90. But the reality is they don't play consistent, like 90 minutes ever consistently, especially with 5 subs now. I'd be very wary from the off of going with any City players. Like I've been burnt by Mahrez before. Right, the board approved the board request for improved junior coaching. I really want to try and get the youth recruitment upgraded, which they've done. Happy days. Okay, that's really good. So we're going to have exceptional youth recruitment and excellent academy coaching. That is good progress. Academy coaching impacts generated players' current ability. Youth recruitment affects it holistically. Which attackers do you recommend in fantasy? I mean, Gabriel Jesus is the obvious one. Besides that, I feel like you need Kane or Haaland in your team to start. I think Kane first game week looks good. Haaland second game week looks good. The other thing to consider is that by having one of those two options, even if the other one ends up after a couple of games looking like the better option, you've already got a player at that price point. Like if you've only got Salah for 13 million, then say you have no one else in kind of that 10 plus million range, to jump on a player like Son or KDB or Kane or Haaland when they hit their form, you've got to do at least 2 transfers to free up the funds in downgrading a player to then upgrade elsewhere. Whereas if you go in with at least 2 premiums from the off, it makes that ability to rotate and get in the premiums that you need at the right time way easier. And fundamentally, those premium options are the players that you are going to want to have at certain points. And if you don't own them, you will get absolutely screwed over because there will be other people who do have them. How do you say Sakamacha's name? Is it Sakamacha? Sakamaka? I think it's Matcha. It's an Italian name. My concern with City, with West Ham is they've got Man City first game week and he's not had any pre-season. So you don't know how he's going to slot into the team, how regularly he's going to play. Like, I don't hate Bowen at 8.5 million, but I feel like there's just maybe slightly better options at the 8 million option. And that Man City opening fixture, I just don't think looks very good for West Ham. Hey, Luke, I appreciate the kind words, mate. I've seen so many people just in this chat right now write different ways of phonetically saying his name. Are we saying it's Skamaka, chat? Are we saying it's Skamaka? I think that more people are saying that, but we've got like 6 different pronunciations being written in the chat. Right. Who are the recommended players? Yeah, our staff are like, we should sign all of them. And I'm thinking, absolutely not. This guy looks good. You know what? We'll snap up David here. Big fan. He's actually pretty good. Kind of glad that we double-checked this like I said I would. It's pronounced Bob. Smart. But yeah, I think the thing to consider with players like Skamaka is they're coming in later pre-season, and because no one else owns them, even if he performs really well to begin with, you're not going to be hurt that badly by it. And I'm not entirely sure it's worth the risk anyway of owning him from the off. I feel like there's just better options. I don't think I'm going to sign any of these other players. I should probably just flick through them to be safe, but I feel like my staff's review of what they think is actually worth signing is very different to my own. Okay, I'm content that I'm signing the ones that are good. We didn't get any particularly good youth intake players, sadly, Stokey. Tell you what, Matthias is continuing to improve. I do wonder for our squad, because of how kind of slightly lower level our squad is, like with how algorithms work in Football Manager, how much benefit do they get from playing in all the kind of European games? Obviously, they're a big step up. Also, chat, new head of youth development is here. Round of applause for Aidan Callan. I'll tell you what, his actual, like, manager, well, his attributes on the whole are pretty good. But for £275, that is mad how good he is. I feel like he probably is underpaid. Also, bring back Yoshison. I don't think he's improved since we first started looking at him, but he's still a very good player. Is there any random regens that have started making it into the youth teams yet? Doesn't look like it. It seems like it's mostly real players still. Some of these pictures crack me up, chat. Perisic is must-have, but I'm Croatian, so biased, I guess. I don't think Perisic is worth the gamble to start the year. Like, he might end up starting all the games. I still don't necessarily think he'll get to 60 minutes consistently enough to guarantee himself the clean sheet points. I just feel like if you're looking at Spurs wing-backs, so he's probably more nailed on to start, at least very initially. Doherty's just a better option. If he doesn't have knowledge of the country, you're not going to get the best players. That is a myth. Fun fact of the day. I feel like Breidablik always get very, very good options. Perisic will pay more than 60 minutes 100%. I'd suggest Yanni looking at his numbers when he played under Conte 2 years ago. And also, Sessegnon is quite liked by Conte, so he will continue to get game time. And Perisic missed so much of pre-season. Absolutely seems when Conte bangs Kulusevski at right wing-back. I'll say now, like, the Doherty, I think, is less of a risk. And he did start against Roma, as did Perisic. But I am conscious of the fact that beyond the first kind of 4 or 5 game weeks, it's going to become less and less locked in, I think. Demetrius, that is not true. Knowledge of country doesn't impact players' incoming players' quality. It's a common misconception. An early wild card will definitely be something that I consider this year. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, like with taking a riskier approach to start the year and then after 4 game weeks or even sooner using a wild card. Especially because there's going to be the wild card during the World Cup anyway. So you can look way more shorter term. Personal question, I guess, but how's the weight loss going, Jack? Went from 1 at 4.8 to 81 beta wall and crept back up. Any thoughts or ideas to get back on the bike? I always feel like the thing to do is just start small. Or, like, if it's a case of you've been cycling and you're kind of, I don't want to say burnt out by it, but like you're just kind of bored of it, try and find an alternative outlet. Do I loan out Andrew Jones chat to MacArthur FC? They play in the main A-League, but I've not got it loaded. I mean, he's developing fine in our own youth team, and I don't really want to loan him out and then him not get homegrown at club. I'm going to turn it down. Going for a massive gamble on Harvey Elliott, 5 million and 0.3% owned for someone who's looked class in pre-season. I just don't think he'll play enough, George. I feel like your Liverpool slots are too valuable to waste on Harvey Elliott. Like, if you've not got players like Salah, Trent, well, at least Salah and Trent, like, you're just starting at such a big disadvantage. I hate the fact they've become so essential, but when you got someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold who scores like in the top 5 points in the entire game, and then you're only pricing him at 7.5 million, like, compare him to any midfielder or attacker at that price range, like, there's no one comparable to him. And well, Salah is just Salah. Salah's just a freak. And I feel like even if you only have those two to start, having a third Liverpool slot occupied by Harvey Elliott, who might get appearances, but I don't think he's nailed on for minutes. I think there's way better options at that price point, at least initially. Like, you're just backing yourself into a corner. Hey, Josh, I appreciate the kind words. I'm enjoying this Iceland save. It's been really, really fun. If you want to catch up on it, we do upload all the, just a little reminder, all the VODs go up on the second channel chat, which is Work Extra Space. I did mention this earlier. We're not going to get to the next game tonight because I'm going to wrap up the stream soonish. I'm still nursing a sore throat from the Women's Euros finals. I shouted way, way too much. But to kick off tomorrow's stream, which will be at 9 PM UK time, so whatever time it is for you now, take 2 hours and 26 minutes off it. That's when you need to be here. We're going to do this game against Mainz. It's going to be big. If we win it, we're into the Conference League group stages. If we lose it, we get nothing. And I cry. But yeah, like I said, chat, like the points per, you need, when you're looking at FBL, you're basically looking to get the best value for money. And defenders just offer that in abundance. Like, there are midfielders like, well, there's, if you look at £8 million midfielders and then compare their returns to the likes of Robertson, Cancelo, Trent, even players like Reece James, which is probably a little bit more of a gamble with the uncertainty around him, like, you're better off having 4 really good defenders and going lighter in the midfield. That's not to say that midfield options will emerge. Like I said, with midfielders and attackers, it's about owning them at the right time. But of course, the entirety of a year, those kind of premium defender options are just, you can't ignore them. I think Wissa is a good option, Dazza. I just don't love Brentford's opening games. I said earlier, so I'm probably going to go with Neto as my £5 million midfielder. But I'm looking at Aronson and also Wissa as like 2 options. Like, Wissa looks like he could play out of position and end up playing as a striker, which could be, well, I mean, it could be pretty huge. Do I use all 100 mil or do I save a little bit? It depends. I can show you my team chat if you want me to talk you through my team. I'm going a bit weird in terms of, there's 2 ways to approach FPL. You can approach it from the perspective of you play hyper safe, which I'll be honest, there's nothing wrong with doing, but you'll never win it all playing safe if you just do what everyone else is doing. And then there is the approach of like properly, I don't want to say going for it, but basically you have to make some bold calls that are different to get ahead. It's kind of like long distance running. Do you want to run with the pack and you'll probably do okay consistently over the year? Or do you want to, try and set your own pace? But yeah, again, we're going to wrap up the FM here. So if you've been enjoying it on YouTube, do drop a like on it. If you've just been here for FM, we're done with FM for the day. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9 PM. So I hope to see you guys then. I can't remember if I saved the game or not. So we'll hit save again.